Hello, good evening. It's News 360 coming to you live from the News Up here at Sawikanda. I am Portia Gabo.
And I am Martin Asiedu. Let's bring you the headlines for the next 1 hour.
News 360 Headlines is brought to you by
Flamingo Paint,
Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal,
EcoBank, Nero Prime Water.
Court of Appeal orders the Bank of Ghana to restore the operating license of GN Savings and Loans.
Also tonight, we are in the Ada West District, where access to quality education remains a daily struggle as hundreds of pupils continue to study under trees due to poor school infrastructure.
And later in the bulletin, the Ghana Medical and Dental Council Chair Professor Ajimabedu Akosa raises concern over increasing medical negligence referrals and calls for improved patient safety standards nationwide.
In business news, Bank of Ghana targets cross-border trade with ECD as digital currency project, which moves beyond pilot stage.
On the international front, Nigerian anti-drug agency dismantles meth syndicate, seizing $363 million worth of drugs and arresting 10 suspects. It's a packed bulletin. We want you to be a part of it. We are live around the world on 3news.com and also streaming on 3news.com.
The news now in detail, and the Court of Appeal has by a unanimous decision restored the license of GN Savings and Loans Company Limited. That was after a 3-member panel of the second highest court quashed the decision of the High Court, which upheld the revocation of the license on grounds that the decision to revoke the license was unfair and unreasonable. By the judgment, both the decision to revoke the license and the High Court decision to uphold same has been quashed. The court ordered the receiver should also hand over possession, management and control of the assets and other activities to shareholders of the company. On January 4, 2019, GN Bank Limited was reclassified as a savings and loans company and consequently renamed GN Savings and Loans Company Limited. 7 months later, on August 16, 2019, the Bank of Ghana, under the leadership of Dr. Ernest Addison, revoked the operating license of GN Savings and Loans Company Limited and appointed Eric Nananipa as receiver as part of the banking sector cleanup exercise. The same month, Group Indum, owners of GN Savings and Loans Company Limited, led by Dr. Papa Kwese Indum, challenged the revocation of the license in the High Court in Accra.
We're staying in the courts now, back to political stories, and the General Secretary of the opposition New Patriotic Party, Justin Kodua Frimpong, has disclosed that the party will petition the Chief Justice for the removal of Circuit Court Judge, His Lordship Joseph Yenuban Kunsong. Earlier, the High Court granted the NPP Bono Regional Chairman Kwame Bafo, many of you will know him as Abronya DC. He was granted bail after he was refused same by the Circuit Court. Lord Eduasare reports.
The NPP Bono Regional Chairman has been charged with offensive conduct conducive to the breach of peace and publication of false news. According to the prosecution, Abronya made derogatory remarks about a judge and attempted to incite the public against the court. The High Court on Thursday, May 21, granted the NPP Bono Regional Chairman 100,000 cedis bail with 2 sureties to be justified after his lawyer prayed for same for him. When the case was called, defense lawyer Kojopo Nkrumah notified the court that the Attorney General's department had not served them with a response to their motion. Deputy Attorney General Dr. Justice Remsai then indicated that they did not file any response, after which Abronya's lawyers moved the application for bail.
We'll bring you more on that particular story. Now, the family of Charles Henry Emisa, the young engineer who died in February after being turned away from 3 public hospitals in a single night, has filed a suit at the High Court of Justice in Accra. The family has named 11 defendants and is seeking 20 million Ghana cedis in general damages. There is more on this following News Desk report.
So sermons issued on May 14, 2026 under the hand of Chief Justice Bafo-Boni and filed by Dankwa and Associates names Ghana Police Hospital, Greater Accra Regional Hospital and Kolebu Teaching Hospital as the first, second and third defendant respectively. Also named are 4 doctors and 3 nurses who were on duty across the 3 facilities on the night of the tragedy, as well as the Attorney General representing the state's institutional liability. The plaintiff is Dr. Matilda Emisa, a medical doctor and sister of the deceased. The action comes weeks after a ministerial commission of inquiry established by the Minister of Health on February 23, 2026, submitted its report on May 6, 2026. The committee, chaired by retired pathologist and former Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Professor Ajiman Bedu Akosa, and including emergency medicine consultants and senior health officials, concluded that Amisa's death was avoidable and that the first through the 10th defendant had been negligent in the handling of the patient. The report recommended disciplinary action against the health professionals involved and called for systemic reforms in Ghana's emergency care system. The plaintiff's statement of claims sets out 7 specific areas of negligence against the defendants. Failure to provide emergency stabilization despite visible trauma and deterioration. Failure to conduct vital assessment. Failure to provide emergency triage. Failure to provide temporary intervention. Failure to provide trolley stabilization. Failure to rapidly assess and prioritize care based on the severity of the patient's condition. And failure to escalate internally. All 11 defendants have been commanded by the court to enter an appearance within 8 days of service of the writ, failing which judgment may be entered against them in their absence. The defendants are yet to respond formally to the suit. This case raises questions about the state of emergency care in Ghana's public hospitals and the accountability of health professionals and institutions when patients are turned away from care.
Meanwhile, Chairman of the Board of the Ghana Medical and Dental Council, Professor Ajiman Bedu Akosa, says the growing number of medical negligence cases being referred to the council is worrying. He was speaking at the 14th Annual Ghana Association of Radiologists Scientific Meeting, where he urged all medical and health practitioners to demonstrate primary health concerns to patients.
Can't work in anonymity. And I think that is the first thing that we should all understand. If we think you do, life is changing. You have knowledge and skill, and use it. And don't hide under systems failure. If you can intervene, somebody's had an injury, if you can pack the wound and set up an IV, do you need bed? Do you need systems to be able to do that? Please, when you say that the health and well-being of your patient is your primary concern, please demonstrate it. Please demonstrate it. And I think it is important that whether it is something that we didn't think would happen, it is happening. The number of people who are sending cases to the Medical and Dental Council, it is worrying. It is worrying. We have so many cases backlog that we're having to investigate. Why should it be so? And it is because we have abandoned that primary responsibility that the well-being, the health and the well-being of our patients is our primary responsibility. Let's do that.
Let's take it to one of our headline stories now. In parts of the Ada West district, access to quality education remains a daily struggle as hundreds of pupils continue to study under trees due to poor school infrastructure. At Pechise Pechise Kope DA Basic School, the situation worsened after a heavy rainstorm on Sunday, the 17th of May, and it destroyed the only classroom block serving the entire community. Joseph Armstrong Goldalogbe visited the community and has filed this report. The only school.
Under the scorching sun and at the mercy of changing weather conditions, pupils of Pechise Kope DA Basic School continue to pursue education in the open. From kindergarten to junior high school, teaching and learning take place under trees due to the absence of adequate classroom infrastructure. For years, both teachers and pupils have had to adapt to these hard conditions despite the obvious discomforts and distractions. A visit to the school revealed kindergarten pupils seated on dusty ground struggling to pay attention during lessons. For pupils exhausted by the heat and uncomfortable environment are often seen sleeping during class hours. Just a few meters away, other classes are being conducted simultaneously without any form of partition or sound barrier, making concentration difficult for both teachers and learners. But the situation took a dramatic turn on May 17 when a heavy rainstorm ripped through the community and brought down the school's only classroom block. The collapse has left pupils and teachers with no option but to rely entirely on outdoor learning spaces. Residents fear the situation could force many children out of school if urgent intervention is not provided.
We are sitting under the tree and the sun is scorching us. We don't even feel comfortable when we are learning.
The chief of Pechise Kope says the poor state of the school is negatively affecting education and the future of children in the community.
The students have been moving aimlessly in the community. And you know, education is our future. The future of the community lies in the young ones. So without education here, we don't think that we can produce any proper people to handle the affairs of this country. Because there is no place for them to sit. They leave the school, go and then join their boyfriends and girlfriends. At the end of the day, we have a lot of people dropping out of school as a result of this pregnancy.
The Adan West District Director of Education, Dr. Stephen Arthur, describes the situation as worrying and says Pechise Kope is just one of several schools in the district battling several infrastructure challenges.
Reports have already been submitted to the district chief executive. If you go to Tofloko JHS, they are sitting under trees and have reported it to the Assembly East. And the Petu Hall 2, the structure is manned and is not in good shape. All these things have been captured in my report. And you know, the demands of the district is so enormous, and so the district is working on it step by step based on resource availability.
According to the Education Directorate, some parents are reluctant to enroll their children in schools without proper classrooms. The director further revealed that teenage pregnancy remains a growing concern within the district's educational system. He disclosed that 10 female candidates who sat for the just ended BEC were pregnant compared to 18 cases recorded last year.
This year, the BC recorded about 10 pregnancy cases. It was a drop because last year we had 18 and this year it reduced to 10. And so we are making progress. And we've introduced a number of interventions to address those issues.
The Member of Parliament for the area says steps are being taken to address the educational crisis confronting communities within the district.
Since we can't close down the school, we have to look around and see those structures available that can house our pupils for now. But give or take, this one should not take us more than 2 weeks to fix.
Oh, really?
Not more than 2 weeks to fix.
Within 2 weeks, we'll fix this structure?
Sure. Within 2 weeks, we'll fix this.
For the children of Pechise Kope, however, every school day remains a struggle between the desire to learn and the harsh reality of neglect.
For these pupils, education has moved from the classroom to under the scorching sun and also the threatening weather. Anytime the dark clouds form, they are forced to end their lesson. As we see now, it means that the day has come to a standstill, whilst others in other parts of the country
continue with their study. Hopefully, the district education directorates will come to their aid. Joseph Armstrong, Go Dalibe, TV3, Port Teacher Copy, Adan East.
Let's go to the Volta region, where residents of Adaklu in the Adaklu district have been left devastated following a mudslide incident that occurred Wednesday night. The incident has caused a significant destruction to a basic school and several other structures at the foot of the Adaklu mountain. 2 persons trapped in the debris were also said to have sustained various degrees of injuries. Our correspondent Faisal Abdul Idrisu was in the area and filed this report.
Adaklu Mountain is one of the most visited tourism sites here in the Volta region. But last night, it served residents here some bitter pills. Rocks up the mountain, heavy ones of course, rolled down with mud and destroyed a school down here. And as you can see from the shot, that's the pathway it created all the way from the top. Rocks rolling through that pathway to the school, where it caused an extreme devastation. The incident followed a heavy downpour that lasted between 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Wednesday. Jacob Redicop, who owns and manages the Kingdom School of Leadership, recounts the happenings and the extent of damage caused to the school and some other properties.
In the evening, the rain increased around 6 o'clock. I was out just monitoring, see where the water was flowing. I was right there at the top part there by the house. I walked in, I was in for maybe 20 minutes, and then we heard some noise. I walked out, and all the mud was just coming down.
Right from the mountain? From
the mountain, yes, between the 2 houses. And actually, rocks and trees have come into the small house on the one side where the lady and the boy were trapped. The house is gone, and then 3 vehicles. Had something like that some years back, and on this side as well. Here we sometimes have water coming down, quite a lot of water.
Water from the mountain?
Yeah, but we kind of have like a gutter, the way the water will flow, so we try to protect so that it would work well, but this one, it's more than gutter.
Some residents say they are living in fear.
This is not the first time, but this very one is so devastating. And so we want government to conduct the necessary checks and tell us whether it is still safe for us to stay here. If it is not safe, they should find a way to evacuate us.
This is one of the vehicles mangled in the disaster last night. It's a Toyota Highlander. Now on the right is this residential apartment where I'm told the woman and the son were trapped. It is also almost completely destroyed. But on the other side, I can count 3 more vehicles, including the school bus, that have also been extensively damaged. Fire officers and NADMO officials have since declared the place a danger zone and urged residents to stay away.
So for now, with the DC and then NADMO, we declare the place to be a danger zone. It's a disaster zone, nobody's supposed to go there, apart from the owner of the premises, who can access some few things, and after that, he himself will not get access to the place. For now, there is no electricity there. ECD has disconnected them.
The DC for the area, Jerry Ameko, said they will need a further assessment to be assured of the safety of communities around the mountain.
So it is something that we've seen is become a trend, and that is why I advise that the geological department comes in, we look at what they have done in the past, they come to assess the current situation, and they advise us on the way forward, because this is where our people are, this is where they've lived for all these years. If it is still safe for being here, fine. If it is not safe, we get the technical advice, and then we take it from there.
The incident here last night may just be a prelude to a much bigger disaster in waiting, given the fact that several other communities are still situated right at the foot of the Adaklu mountain. But the question is, where do we go from here? Do we take this as one of those normal disasters, or we'll give it the attention it deserves and then prepare ourselves for any further eventuality? Faisal Abdul Idrisu, TV3 News, Adaklu.
Well, let's come back to the capital. And a passenger train traveling from Tema to Accra collided with a cattle on the Avenos stretch of the railway. The collision derailed the train, leaving passengers stranded. Joseph Armstrong visited the scene and has come through with his report.
It occurred at about 7 a.m. on Thursday, May 21, shortly after the train departed Avenue Station en route to Odo Station. Passengers on board were compelled to alight immediately after the accident, as rail services on the corridor were suspended. Engineers were later deployed to the scene to begin repair works on the affected section of the rail line and restore normal operations.
We have to assess the degree of component that are spoiled, and also the maintenance works involved in it. If there are certain things that we're supposed to go and buy, then we buy to replace the spoiled one.
Has the owner been arrested already?
Apparently, we've not found the owner yet, because the car was tied on the track, and when such a thing happened, they all despair.
Technical officers also commenced assessment to determine the extent of damage caused to the track and the train. Some eyewitnesses told the news team that the train operator had attempted to control the situation moments before the impact. According to them, the operator managed to slow down and stop the train after the collision, preventing what could have been a more serious disaster.
It's a big cow.
It's a big cow.
I think the day before yesterday, somebody came and bought it 450 million OCDs.
450 million?
OCD. Somebody.
45,000.
45,000. Somebody come and bought it like that. The person says 600,000. So it's a big cow.
Somebody offered to buy this cow for 45,000.
45,000.
And the owner refused.
The owner refused.
Sometimes it is a train they come, train they give on. Now somebody too they cross the road. It's not fine.
Others took advantage to rush for the meat.
I'm waiting for the meat. The head is there for under. Yeah, because of the head we are there here.
The accident brings to the fore the disregard for safety and the non-enforcement of laws in the country. Several sections of railway lines have been invaded by encroachers, with authorities doing nothing to address the situation. This incident should serve as a wake-up call for drastic action to avert a future disaster that could lead to loss of lives.
People are having their knives ready to get share of the cow that has been trapped under the trail line. Hopefully we'll see the owner of the cow, and then the necessary sanctions that needs to be given to him will be given to him to deter people in future from allowing their cows to cross the rail line without control. Joseph Armstrong, Go Adaklu TV3.
I'm sure many of you are quite surprised, as many of us in the studio as well. Well, let's go to our earlier story having to do with politics, and the General Secretary of the opposition New Patriotic Party, Justin Kodua Frimpong, has disclosed that the party will petition the Chief Justice for the removal of Circuit Court Judge, His Lordship Joseph Yenuban Kunsong. Earlier, the High Court granted NPP's Bono Regional Chairman Kwame Bafo, many of you know him as Abronye DC, bail after he was refused same by the Circuit Court. There's a report by Lord Edwasari.
The NPP Bono Regional Chairman has been charged with offensive conduct conducive to the breach of peace and publication of false news. According to the prosecution, Abronye made derogatory remarks about a judge and attempted to incite the public against the court. The High Court on Thursday, May 21, granted the NPP Bono Regional Chairman 100,000 cedis bail with 2 sureties to be justified after his lawyers prayed for same for him. When the case was called, defense lawyer Kojo Nkrumah notified the court that the Attorney General's department had not served them with a response to their motion. Deputy Attorney General Dr. Justice Remsai then indicated that they did not file any response, after which Abronye's lawyers moved the application for bail. Presiding Judge Abdul Basit ordered Abronye to report to the police CID every fortnight and directed him to deposit his travel documents to the court registrar. He is to only travel outside the jurisdiction with permission from the registrar. NPP General Secretary Justin Frimpong Kodua, after expressing satisfaction with the ruling, indicated that action will be taken against the Circuit Court judge handling Abronye's case.
We find the conduct of trial judge as unacceptable, and to some extent a misconduct. And it's not something that we are going to just let go. We are filing a petition to the Chief Justice for Justice Yenuban Kunsong to be removed from the case of the Republic versus Abronia, because we believe that he has taken stand in the case and he cannot be a judge in his own case.
Commenting on the seeming tensions born out of the arrest of NPP enthusiasts, MP for Fason Erebi, Kojopo Nkrumah cautioned the government.
What we are saying to the authorities who are doing the intimidation is that they should stop the intimidation. They should stop the abuse of 207 and 208. If they do that, there will be no trigger for the tensions that are rising.
Lord Idrasari, TV3 News, Accra.
And away from the court, National Democratic Congress Chairman Johnson Isiedun Ketia has urged calm among supporters in Nyankpala following the death of party activist Haruna Saibu, also known as Alhaji. He says the party is committed to pursuing justice for those killed during the 2024 elections.
What began as a tent gathering of grieving and frustrated youth in Nyankpala gradually turned into an emotional appeal for calm, unity and justice. Supporters of the National Democratic Congress in Tolon constituency had gathered to present a petition to party leadership over the death of Haruna Saibu, popularly known as Alhaji, whom they say sacrificed his life during the 2024 election campaign.
We plan to use this opportunity as a leader who have the people at heart so that you will come to our aid and also see to it that justice is prevailed to whoever was affected on the election day.
Addressing the crowd, NDC National Chairman Johnson Isiedun Ketia acknowledged the pain and stressed that the fight for justice requires unity, not internal conflict.
If Alhaji were to be alive, he will be here involved in organizing this program. So don't take his case to settle your personal issues. It's more serious than that.
Isiedun Ketia noted that the NDC cannot afford to forget the sacrifices made by party members whose efforts contributed to the party's 2024 electoral victory.
If we win and we don't take the trouble to remember those who sacrificed to put us in power, then we are deceiving ourselves.
Party leaders assured the youth that their consent and petition will be forwarded to the appropriate authorities for further actions.
You're still watching News 360. Stay with us. We have business, sports and entertainment coming right up.
I love President.
The business segment on News360. I am Minu Afol. The Bank of Ghana says it is advancing plans to deploy the ECD for cross-border settlements and wholesale payments following the successful completion of the digital currencies pilot phase. Governor of the Central Bank, Dr. Johnson Pandit Isiama, says the next phase of the project is expected to support faster international transactions, deepen digital finance, and strengthen regional trade integration.
The ECD project has now completed its design, implementation, and pilot testing stages, with the central bank shifting focus toward how the digital sovereign currency can now be integrated into Ghana's evolving financial market ecosystem. Speaking at the opening of the 64th ACI World Congress in Accra, Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Isiama, said financial markets across emerging economies are becoming increasingly digital, interconnected, and innovation-driven.
The ECD, Ghana's central bank digital currency, has completed its pilot phase, and we are now actively designing its use for cross-border settlement and wholesale payments. The strategic question is therefore no longer whether to build digital sovereign infrastructure. The strategic question now, here and elsewhere, is what economic activity we choose to enable once we have it.
Meanwhile, President of ACI Ghana, Lawrence Osilaja Buampon, says the Congress seeks to deepen international partnerships and attract investor interest into Ghana and the wider African market.
Africa's financial market story continues to evolve rapidly, driven by innovation, reform, resilience, and ambition. Now, this Congress therefore provides more than just a platform for discussion. It provides an opportunity to connect, to collaborate, to challenge ideas, to build partnerships, and ultimately to shape the future together.
The two-day ACI World Congress, being held under the theme Elevating Markets, Empowering People, brought together financial market professionals, policymakers, and industry leaders from more than 60 countries, with Ghana hosting the event for the first time in 17 years and only the second time on the African continent.
Away from that, MTN Ghana has trained more than 200 small and medium enterprise owners in the Eastern region under its SME Accelerate program. The training, dubbed the MTN SME Clinic, aims to bridge technology and business management gaps among SMEs while offering participants 1 year of business visibility and support.
Small and medium enterprise owners from various sectors participated in the MTN SME Clinic in Koforidua. Participants benefited from capacity building in bookkeeping, value addition, and digital business operations to improve productivity and competitiveness. MTN Ghana Business Senior Manager for SME Sales, Abubakar Sadiq Muhammad, said SMEs remain critical to the country's socio-economic development, hence the initiative.
From the MTN side, we are also ensuring that we give them the necessary tools, i.e. the yellow bees. An SME acquires the yellow bees router. What it does for the SME is that it gives the SME connectivity. So as part of the yellow bees also, we also have what you call the web bees, which allows you to create a website for your business. Website gives you visibility across the globe.
He further indicated that women-owned businesses, which constitute a significant portion of the SME sector, would also benefit from MTN's Ejumapa package.
51 to 52% of businesses in Ghana, SMEs in Ghana, are run by women. In that recognition, so this will giving very affordable mobile voice and data packages in SMS as well. There's an insurance cover for them.
The MTN SME Accelerate initiative is expected to benefit SME owners in 6 regions. Some participants say the training and support package will significantly transform their businesses. I've learned is that when you manage your work well, your investments stay, business flourish.
Let's now look at how the cedi is faring against other trading currencies and how some of our key commodities are faring on the global market. And that's it for Business Tonight on News 360. I am Menu Afo. We have more news updates coming your way. Stay with us.
Also, insecticide spray and coil.
Let's do some sports here on News360. My name is Mutala Yakubu. Now, with 21 days to the start of the FIFA World Cup, handlers of the Black Stars are yet to announce a provisional squad for the tournament. The delay has sparked conversation among football fans and pundits across the country. Meanwhile, former Black Stars midfielder Emmanuel Ajimabedu says he remains patient and confident the technical team will make the right decision ahead of the Mundial.
For the late, for the timing, in my opinion, I don't think the coach will go for 55 players. I don't know what his plans is, but because of the timing and how close the tournament is, I'm very optimistic he will go for his 26 or maybe 30 players for us to be focused and to know this is the kind of players we are going with. However, if we go with the 56, has been rumored outside there, I won't have any problem. But for now, the list out there, I know most of the players will be in. For the timing, I don't think most of the players we had use them in the qualifiers. He will be able to change a lot. Maybe after this friendly game against Mexico, he will try and get one or two to add up to the team, because we lost somebody like Kudus and Salisu in the team, so he will need substitute. But we are here to support. He's very new. His managerial skills and the experience he have will help us a lot.
From one ex-player to another, because Samoa Jan has shown his weight behind the Black Stars ahead of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Jan publicly declared his support on Thursday night following his unveiling as ambassador for national teams and coast football in Ghana.
In the playing body, we have to just prepare well. You know, there are a lot of injuries in the team, but everything will depend on the playing body. As an ex-player, I always say I'm a fan of the Black Stars. You know, I've supported the Black Stars. Even when I was playing, I was a fan. You know, so we'll try as fast as possible to use our experience to psych the boys up, to make sure they can deliver. At the end of the day, I'll deliver my speech, I'll deliver my experience, but they have to prove to Ghanaians where we are going. So I'd like to wish everybody luck, especially the Black Stars, for this World Cup.
Let's finish off with some youth football, because the Black Starlets media officer, Sheikh Tofik, has acknowledged the emotional intensity surrounding Ghana's upcoming decisive playoff clash against Uganda, especially with qualification to the FIFA Under-17 World Cup on the line and familiar faces involved on both sides. The encounter carries other significance as Uganda's technical direction is led by former Ghana international Laye Kingston, who once coached several of the current Black Starlets players.
Here with you, this is a fixture that I wished, never happened. I feel that it's going to be a crack of a game. It's a game that will leave with a lot of memories. It's going to be an interesting. From where Ogum, I know how he's been able to speak to the boys, the team of the South Africa, and how valuable they were. And I'm sure he will come up with something that will give Ghana qualification to the World Cup. They also have to prove a point. They also have to show what they learned from that time and combine it with what they have been currently taught. And when they go and get stuff, they will be able to stand for Ghana. So it comes with a lot of dynamics. The live factor really is interesting, and it's making the whole game a bit different from how it has been as a normal game. This has become like we have to go out and defend the flag of very high.
That's all by way of sports here on News360. My name is Mutala Yakubu. We take a quick breather. We return shortly.
and development of Ghana's film and audiovisual sector, the National Film Authority has officially inaugurated the Film Development Fund Management Committee.
Congratulations.
The committee's mandate is to ensure effective governance, administration and regulation of the Film Development Fund, which is expected to stimulate investment, skills development, innovation and audience expansion within Ghana's creative economy.
This is a seed money, and you know what seed does. So we're going to be able to use this money responsibly to boost our industry. We need to grow it. We'll not just be growing the industry, we'll be growing the fund and a whole industry and more.
The NFA says transparency mechanisms have already been put in place to ensure that only qualified and credible applicants benefit from the fund.
Everybody in the audiovisual ecosystem, content creators, qualified film distributors, film producers, film exhibitors, broadcasters. The fund is not free money. It is not free money. We have started discussions on various ways to recoup the loans back.
Industry stakeholders and practitioners have expressed excitement about the initiative, while also urging the NFA to implement strict monitoring and supervision systems to ensure the funds are used for their intended purposes and deliver measurable impact.
It's fulfilling, and it's very exciting to know that the government is paying attention to film in Ghana. My hope is that the fund will be used for the purpose for which it's been set up. And I also think that the criteria for selection of persons or production companies that qualify should include telling authentic stories.
Well, that'll be it for the entertainment news segment here on News 360. My name is Noella Donko.
On the international front, Nigeria's anti-drug agency says it has dismantled a methamphetamine syndicate in the largest seizure of its kind in the country. The operation led to seizure of drugs and chemicals worth about $363 million and arresting 10 suspects, including 3 Mexicans. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency said late on Wednesday that the coordinated raids on a farm in Ogun State and linked properties in Lagos State, southwest Nigeria, uncovered an industrial-scale clandestine laboratory and yielded 2.4 tons of the drug and chemical materials.
In more international news this evening, dozens of vehicles, including fuel tankers, minibuses and trucks, have been set on fire on a road about 45 kilometers west of Bamako as jihadists step up a blockade of the city. There are no reports of casualties. Those on board were said to have been asked to get out before the vehicles were burned. Jamaat Nasrat al-Wassam wal-Muslimi, a jihadist group affiliated to Al-Qaeda, imposed a fuel blockade on Bamako last year, which it tightened after attacking the city last month. The blockade is leading to shortages and sharp increase in the price of many goods ahead of Islamic holiday of Eid al-Adha, which falls next week, Wednesday, here in Ghana. So it's a pleasure sharing company with you for the last 1 hour. Thank you for watching. My name is Martin Asiedu.
I am Portia Gabo. Good evening.